This one goes out to all the cops out there. Before we begin, I'm going to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I am very aware that my people and your people haven't really seen eye to eye since really ever, okay? But I can put our bad blood aside and have a conversation. This one goes out especially to the good cops out there. But even though I can acknowledge that there are good cops, the fact that we have to make that distinction shows you that there's something wrong with the system. Not all cops are bad. Well, then that implies that there's so many out there that we need to specify that not all cops are bad. You see? But for all those good cops out there, I have a question for you. Why don't you arrest other cops? Why are you not slapping the cuffs on these people that are also breaking the law? Did you not take an oath to protect and uphold the law? Because you're wearing a badge and a uniform, you're allowed to break those laws? Don't you guys wonder, or are you still surprised why people don't treat you with the level of respect that you feel that you deserve? It's because you have too many bad apples. You know, you're standing too close to the criminals. You're acting too much like the criminals that when we see them breaking the law, you guys stay quiet. And that doesn't it make you guilty by association? So isn't that making you a criminal as well? Why aren't you doing your job? You know? Like, don't get me wrong. Some of them are annoying, but their work is pretty important. The First Amendment auditors. You know, don't get me wrong. Are they doing some extra stuff? Are they provoking you guys a lot of the time? I'll give you that. You watch some of those videos, you be like, yo, fam, that cop is just trying to chill and you being mad extra, bro. Like, that none of that was necessary. You deserved to get harassed a little bit. You were doing too much, right? But on the other hand, these people are invoking their rights. They're saying that they have the right to do this. And just because you don't know the law, you're ready to arrest people. Guys, it is your job to uphold the law, protect citizens. I know that some of you will put your lives on the line for all the citizens because you take that oath very seriously. But when you see your brethren not doing that, why aren't you stepping up? You know what I mean? You know, it's just weird to me that you guys have literally become the judge, jury, and executioner, and you guys seemingly forget about the actual laws that you are supposed to be upholding. Do you even know the laws? I will go as far as to say that we need more strict conditions, more strict requirements to be a cop. I say, in all honesty, you need like 2 years minimum of law school. You know, you need to be able to pass a physical fitness test. If I call 911, I'm being assaulted, and the person that was just beating my ass for the last 5 minutes runs away, and they send the fattest cop they got that can't apprehend that suspect, what good are you? You can't uphold your oath if you literally are not physically fit enough to perform the most simplest of physically demanding tasks. I also think that you guys need a more thorough background check, like an FBI, CIA level. Like, they need to know what you watch on YouTube, what you be posting online. Like, they need to do more. You guys need a psych evaluation test. If we put a picture of a black person up there and little sensors fire off in your brain, the fear receptors fire off in your brain, do you need to be out on the streets? You know, if we give you like a personality test and we put you on the lie detector and say, like, would you steal? Would you do this? That needs to be updated every 1 to 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like there needs to be a change. Because listen, I know, let me get on my Charleston White real quick. I do believe that there is a necessity for police officers. I do. I believe that there is a necessity for police officers. However, where we differ is that I do believe that you guys are supposed to be the highest caliber of U.S. citizen. You are supposed to be the creme de la creme. You are supposed to be the diamond of all of us citizens. And you know the laws, and you know that you'll put your life on the line to defend people's rights. But yet y'all have become the ones that be breaching them the most. Why is it that, you know, when we on the traffic stop and we say, I plead the fifth, I don't have to answer questions, and you guys keep asking questions? We have invoked our rights that you are supposed to be upholding, and you just choose to ignore them. You know, The Fifth Amendment, I'm pretty sure, is like, the right to remain silent. But then the other part of that is like we also have the right to not incriminate ourselves, and yet you continue to ask us questions even after this right has been invoked. You still ask us questions to get us to incriminate ourselves. You asked us questions. You want us to give you the driver's license to identify yourself, but there's been no crime. If there was no crime, why do I have to identify myself? Am I being detained? Yes, you are. What was it? Can you clearly articulate the crime? I'm detaining you to figure that out. That's not how this works. Now, I get it. For some of y'all, it's a job. And most jobs, you just know what the basics and you just go through. But when you have people's lives in your hand, it's not just a job, it's a duty. And I feel that a lot of you forget that, But the main reason, I guess not the main reason, but one of the factors that y'all took away that pride when you were a fresh shaven new recruit and you were ready to be a police officer. It's like you've forgotten that when you get so much disrespect and people disrespecting you, but look at what your organization has become. The worst thing that I have done other than pirate music online off of LimeWire back in the day was get pulled over for speeding on the highway in Emporia, where I was going like 45 and a 40 or like something ridiculous. It wasn't even crazy. But the cop walks up to the car with his hand on his gun. Don't y'all remember that you guys are public servants? I don't feel like I'm being served too well. I actually feel like a criminal's approaching me when he has a hand on his gun. Now, I get it. It's the dual-edged sword. You're a cop. You have to be on high alert at all times. But at the same time, you're still a public servant. Since when does the butler hold a knife to his master? I'm not saying I'm your master and we ain't with that. But you know what I'm saying? It's like when the servant walks up and has a knife to his master's throat. You guys have forgotten your position because you guys have too much power. And some of you act like that dude that got bullied in high school. And now that you have power and authority over people, you're now abusing it, which returns me to my original question. Good cops, why are you not checking these people? Why are you not arresting them? Because they have the backing. So not even from your perspective, from the perspective of a citizen, we know that there's so much corruption because we see you get away with crimes all the time. Stealing evidence, burying evidence, planting evidence. Some of y'all find somebody a little baggie of cocaine and it doesn't make it to the evidence locker. I need an energy boost for the rest of my shift. Okay, that was a crime, and y'all know what these people be doing, and you do nothing. What was that movie? With Denzel Washington, American Gangster, when he got arrested and he just ratted out all the cops that were on the take. Do you think anything has changed? Some of y'all have the protection of the man behind you. So whenever y'all accidentally kill somebody, y'all get 2 weeks unpaid leave, and then all you do is switch precincts. But you accidentally kill someone. But if I trip and fall and the gun goes off and I kill someone, that's 10 years to life. What? Where's the equalness there? Aren't you still a U.S. citizen? Shouldn't you be punished the same way that I would be? So why do you get a slap on the wrist for killing somebody, but we get the full force of the law? Because you have the backing of the man behind you. But the thing is, so many of y'all are dirty cops that we can't tell when you are a good cop. There's so many dirty cops that their dirt is rubbing off on you because you got guilt by association. You know that cop is dirty. You know he's on the take, but you do nothing about it. You're not a whistleblower at the very least. You don't speak out about it. You just, it's just how it goes. We're a brotherhood. And that's why a lot of citizens who we look to you for protection, we don't see you as these righteous people as you think you are. You should be the most righteous people, but you're not. And not even just having the backing of the man behind you. Some of you, as shown in that movie, it's like you are on the take by the actual criminals you were supposed to be locking up. There needs to be an overhaul with the police force. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be more strict rules. We need to stop all the red tape. If you have a complaint, file it with the police department. My complaint is with the freaking police department. Why would I file my complaint with y'all? You're just going to bury it and say you'll investigate it, and I'll never hear from y'all again. You see what I'm saying? It's like when we out here wanting to be good citizens and do what we're supposed to do, we want the people that we want to be able to call on people that we know are going to protect us from the people that aren't being good citizens. I don't know. I could talk in circles about this forever, but I think y'all get my point. Let me know what y'all think. Till the next one.